Hey there, welcome back to another fun and educational video with myself, Jessica Benge, and David Moyer, my real estate expert friend. And today we're going to talk about a sort of kind of buzzword that you probably are hearing about, whether you get your news online, whether you're watching on the TV, and that is tariffs, right? Tariffs. What is a tariff? How does it affect our clients that are looking to buy or sell their homes? And David, walk us through it. I know you're a very well-rounded guy and you're very into the economy and how it affects things, probably a little bit more than I just get my news from David Moyer. That's it. But anyway, tariffs, how are they affecting our clients and that sort of thing?
Yeah, we're definitely not here to talk about whether or not tariff implementation should be here or shouldn't be and how they affect global politics or anything like that. But one thing that I think is really interesting is how tariffs, even global tariffs, can affect the real estate market, even locally here in Dayton and Cincinnati and Ohio. And right off the bat, you think to yourself, I don't really understand how that can affect things if there is a tariff on in Germany or a tariff on Indonesia. How is that going to affect me when I'm buying a house here in Dayton, Ohio? And the bottom line is there are multiple factors, especially when it comes to new construction. There's steel factors when you're building a new home. There's all of the HVAC parts when you're building new construction. Even for your resale homes, if you're looking to replace a furnace or an air conditioner or a water heater, but especially if you're building a new home. And a lot of your lumber, if it's not coming here locally, it could be coming from overseas. So there are a lot of things that we import here when we're building new construction. And if there's a tariff, which is a tax that is put on those products when they are received here in the United States, and the consumer and the importer actually has to pay that tax before it's released here. And if they're paying that tax, they are passing that on to the receiver. And so when those builders are purchasing those products, they have to build that into the cost. So what happens is you're building a new construction home that all of a sudden the price is inflated. And it's inflated because of those tariffs, because the builder has to absorb that. Absolutely. On the flip side of things, the builders will try and supplement that by doing a rate buy down. We've talked about that before. They will buy down the rates with their lender or with another lender, and they will offer a temporary or a permanent buy down to save buyers on their mortgage. And maybe you could talk a little bit about what a buy down does.
Yeah, so basically, and those builders typically may even pay for that so they
Yeah.
can keep moving their homes, moving, but they're also maybe letting it reflect in the price too. So nothing's really for free, but a rate buy down is an awesome thing for you as the buyer or the consumer because when your rate is lower, your payment is lower, right? Generally speaking, like a point in your rate is at least $100 in your payment, right? So if they are going to buy that down from 6% to 5%, you're going to save $100. And they're counteracting the fact that they have to raise their price to take an account for the tariffs that they're paying for these things that they're going to get in to keep being able to build the homes. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think so. What happens then if you're thinking, I'm not considering new construction, or what about the consumer that's not in the new construction world? They're looking to buy resale. How are tariffs going to affect them? We touched on that. Tariffs are still going to affect if you are looking to replace your furnace or your air conditioner or your water heater, if you're looking to get a new roof, if any of those products are coming from overseas, if they're not made right here in America, those tariffs are going to affect that, which is going to affect the price of that, even that resale home, whether you're the one that's replacing that, or if that seller is replacing it before they put it onto the market, or if they're replacing it as part of negotiations when you're buying that house. So it can reflect in terms of that as well. And there's also a conception or a misconception if you're not considering resale or new construction, excuse me, and you're looking at the new construction prices and there's tariffs that are affecting those prices and you see them going up a little bit, and you're not paying attention to maybe the rate buy downs those builders are doing to help absorb that, and you're looking at resale, the resale all of a sudden becomes a hot commodity, and we're still seeing tight inventory. And what happens when that becomes a hot commodity and that inventory is still really tight? Then the prices on the resale side start to go up really fast. So even though the tariffs are affecting the new construction at a high rate and not so much on the resale side, it's spilling over to the resale side and driving those prices up and keeping the inventory low. And when that happens too, all of a sudden those mortgage rates start to go up as well. So it's very cyclical, right? So that's what kind of happens. And people, they see all these economic factors and they watch the news too much, in my opinion. But when they start to watch this happen, they freeze and they go, I don't want to make these moves, or maybe I shouldn't. And we're not telling somebody 100% what you should do right now in this kind of economy, but we see these housing markets go up and up and up and up. We see the inventory stay tight. We see the appreciation. We've talked about it for months and months, how
Right.
years even, right? The appreciation rate continues to go up. And if
It's
you're
never
not
going
jumping in,
backwards. That's what we
it's
need to tell
not.
folks. You're never going to go, oh, we're going to wait until houses are $100,000 less. It's never. It's only going to go up. It's just the rate of which it
Yeah,
goes up, correct?
exactly. Waiting on a crash is just a pipe dream because all you're doing is leaving money on the table. And the tariffs do affect the real estate markets. And if anything, they actually drive the prices up, which means if you can get in, then you're going to actually have some equity built in because of these tariffs. I'm not saying it's a great thing, but that's what the tariffs can do for you. So
It's the
if you're
reality.
looking at that from an economic standard, that's something to really consider. That's a microcosm of what the economy can do when it comes to local real estate. I look at these things. I don't think it's necessarily the consumer's job to look at these things, but you and I get these questions. Someone that watches the news at night and they're in the middle of a house hunt, they call us the next morning and, Jessica, David, what do you think? This is it. This is why we're here, to give you the professional opinion, the stats, and help guide you along the way so you can make the best decision.
In general, I just try to always get out to folks the urgency of owning a home. And it's not because I want the sale or you want the sale. It's
Right.
because there's so much benefit to owning a home, and urgent because you're going to be benefiting on what David said, the appreciation of your home, right? So it grows and grows over time, and you don't want to leave the money on the table. So we want you to get in as soon as possible. And we want you to be happy with your home purchase and enjoy it. And just generally speaking, enjoying life. Home ownership can bring great joy. So yeah, if you hear little micro terms on the news, just take a deep breath and call David or text him at night. Text him at 10 p.m. at night. We do get those texts too, right? But
We do. You won't get a reply until the next morning,
that's right.
unless we're already working together and it's an absolute emergency. But we will get back to you. So,
Like always, thank you so much for all of your incredible knowledge. You're very well-rounded, studied on these things, and it was a great topic, very timely. And until next time, thank you, David.
it's good to see you.
Good to see you.